Hi everyone and welcome back. In today's video I'm going to be taking this flat raw file and with just a handful of simple edits I'm going to transform it into this. I'll be using both Lightroom and Photoshop, but nothing complicated at all. Just a straightforward process that brings out the hidden detail and turns a dull photo into something worth keeping. Let's get started. Okay, so this is a photo that I took, a nice long exposure that I took at Overstrand Beach in Norfolk. This of the sea defences. They're in a bit of a state of disrepair, but I think that's what adds a little bit of character to them. And it was a very long exposure, 325 seconds, f16, 32mm, ISO 64. It was a nice evening. It was a little bit breezy, which did, I think, cause a little bit of vibration, but nothing that I'm not unhappy with. So as you can see, the flat raw file is quite boring. There's a lot of detail in here that we can get back. The sun was setting on the very left-hand side up here, and it was drifting off into this beautiful blue hour scene that was creeping in over here, accentuated by the big stopper. But that's what the big stopper does. It's got a slightly blue tinge, but nothing that can't be fixed. First of all, in the develop module, I want to go into my lens corrections and change them straight away. And also, because of the curvature in the lens, you've got a little bit of transforming to do here. So we just do the auto. There we are. It straightens up everything a little bit more perfectly, which I'm very happy with. I do want to crop it, I think, but we'll do that in Photoshop a little bit later. We'll get the global adjustments going first. So in the basic tab, we're going to be doing some quick and easy work here. A lot of the time you'll see on Photoshop tutorials, Lightroom tutorials, that you need to be a bit over the top sometimes, I think, with sliders and doing this and doing that. Sometimes auto works absolutely fine. And for one reason is if you use linear profiles. Now, they don't always work. I like using them quite often. I've got one for my Nikon D850 here. And the reason I like linear profiles is, by default, Lightroom applies a standard camera profile that adds contrast and saturation to your raw files. That's fine, but it does mean that you're not always starting from a truly neutral base. A linear profile essentially strips that away, flattens out the tone curve, and gives you a much more accurate, low contrast version of your raw data. Now, it might not look very exciting at first. It can seem flat and dull, but the real benefit is the flexibility. You do get full control over contrast, color, and tonality without fighting against baked-in adjustments. It's especially helpful in tricky lighting or when you want to push your edits towards a more creative or painterly style. So when we apply that linear Nikon, as you can see, it's quite flat and dull again. But if we press the auto button, it really starts bringing back the details that I like. It's still very blue from the big stopper. So we're going to have a look at there we are. That's the one that we want. So we got a lot of clipping, but as you can see with 2-3 simple clicks, we got linear profile, auto, and auto white balance. And the photo is pretty much bang on from what I remember looking at when I was with the camera. A few little tweaks that we're going to do, particularly with the sky. So we're going to make a little mask here with the sky. So these auto selection tools can be very, very useful. We're going to be doing a radial gradient as well on the sunset section as well to bring some of the detail down. But what we're going to do is just drop the exposure slightly there. Bring a bit of contrast out. Or should we increase it? No, we'll drop it out. I like the clouds that are there. I want a hint of them there. So highlights can come down slightly. Shadows can come down slightly. Whites can come down slightly. Instantly, that clip-in seems to have disappeared quite a bit. And if we bring the blacks, just up slightly there, it's quite nice. So we turn it off here. Much more interesting. So I'm happy with that. By the way, if you are enjoying seeing how a few simple edits can completely change this photo, consider hitting the like button and subscribing. It really does help me make these videos for you. So the next thing that I want to do a mask on this derelict sort of groin to bring out some of the details that are in here as well. Now, I've mentioned before that the landscaping selections aren't always the greatest this is a simple scene in Lightroom, but it's struggling to identify the groin itself. So it's given us sky, which we already know how to do anyway, and it's given us the water. But what we can do is we can use this water mask to our advantage. So we're going to create that mask, and then we're simply going to invert it. Very nice. We have got the sky in there, but we can subtract that as well. So we go onto that and press subtract sky. Now all we've got to worry about is the grind. So instead of having to fanny about and try and use the brush tool to try and get in there, we've managed to use the landscape tools, even though they got them wrong, to invert them. And it has got a little bit of masking going on the horizon line. I think there's a pink red line there, but I'm not too bothered about that. So the one thing that I want to do is a little bit, it lacks details. So it was nice and bright that evening. So we're going to drop the contrast, increase the exposure, drop the highlights slightly because you don't want them too distracting. Bring some of the details out in the shadows. We might go back up in a minute and do some of these again because we don't want it washed out. Bring out the blacks there. Nice. How does that look now? You can see it's bringing out all the detail that's in the groins by here. Where's the mask on? So we turn it off. You can see it there. So we're going to increase the temperature slightly for where the sun was hitting it. Yeah, it's also, I didn't notice it before, but with that mask off, it's got a bit of a blue tint on it still. But if we put the mask on, you can see that it's gone away. There's a bit more detail coming out of it. So next, we're going to add a little bit of texture. Probably best if we zoom in here. Add a little bit of texture and detail. Turn that on off. Yeah, you can, as I've zoomed in now, you can instantly see the difference that this masking has made. Fantastic. Right, okay, so I'm happy with that. So, zoom back out. We'll do a quick radial mask, like I said, on the sky as well. Radial gradient over here. Because I want to work with this sunset a little bit more and make it a little bit more sunsetty, I suppose. Because it's a little bit yellowy and pastel-y. Bring it out, a bit too insipid. So the main vibe that I'm trying to get here is the end of the day. That sun is setting. There was no one else on the beach. It's nice and peaceful and quiet. You got the blue tones on the right-hand side for the blue hour that's creeping in. And as the sun is setting on the left-hand side, you got some fantastic sunset colors also creeping through just for the end of the day. Nice. So it's creeping in slightly into the, so I want to subtract the groins as well. So we're just going to quickly do that. So there we are. So the mask is now only affecting the sky and the sea element there as well. So that's quite nice. So if we go back to the master copy and the histogram, the balance is very nice. Well, I'm not sure that that horizon is 100% straight. We're about to jump into Photoshop, so we're going to have a little play in there as well with it as well. So we're going to right click. Where's editing? Editing. Open a smart object in Photoshop. I'm opening it as a smart object because there's a new tool that they have just implemented into Adobe Camera Raw that I want to show you because it's really quite a cool little feature. So to get into Adobe Camera Raw, just double tap the icon down there and it brings up your photo to Adobe Camera Raw. And on this little eraser button up here, you've got this distraction removal section. So you've got reflections, people, and dust. Now, dust is the new one that I'm interested in. So it removes sensor dust, water spots, any debris that may be on the sensor or the glass at the time. So there we are. It saved me having to zoom in and go into all those little bits and mask them out. I really quite like what it's done there. Nice. So we just press OK on that. Very nice. So we're going to jump into Nik Tools here as well because I want to sharpen it up slightly. on the pier. If you haven't got the Nik Efex Tools, I highly recommend you take a look at them. They've gone a bit more expensive now, and for the updates that you get from version that I'm on, I think I'm on version 5 and you're on version 7 or 8 now, there's not a massive amount of difference. So I'm going to go to Effect Mask here, and I only want to affect the groins themselves. So we can select that there, and if we press Alt, we can clone that mask out as well there. Just make it a bit smaller each time. And all this is going to do is add a little bit of pre-sharpening to the groin section of the pier, because the whole point of the long exposure is to have smoothness in the water. And like in Photoshop or Lightroom, white is right and black isn't. So we can hover over the image there, and on the bottom right hand side you can start to see some of the differences it's making. It's brought out some of the noise slightly, but I don't mind for print. That's much nicer for printing out now as well. So press OK on that. Now I may add some of the color effects options here as well, because what I do like is there's a natural split tone in this photo. It's done it itself. So you've got the nice warm highlights, and in the cool sections here you've got some blue shadows. It really is quite nice. So what I might have a look at is adding in skylight filter, which is quite nice there. But what we're going to add it to, I think I might quite like it like that, to be honest. Let's drop it down to 50%. Has it dropped too much of the blues in there? I don't know. No, I think I quite like that. Yeah, we'll just leave it that. Lovely. No, let's just do it up here. Because I think it was affecting the groin slightly too much down there. So there we are. Beautiful. So the next question is, do we want to add the Orton effect? Are we overcooking this? We were talking about doing a nice simple photo, but do we want to overcook it? Only one way to find out. Let's do it. Duplicate. Rasterize that layer. Filter. Blur. Gaussian blur. Always remember my setting before. So we can add the S-curve like normal. Please do check out my Orton effect video if you want to have a look at what I'm doing here and why I'm doing it, because it just explains a little bit more. So I'm quickly whizzing through it here. So it adds a softer edge to it. Now, I don't like the way that it's affecting the groins. It's haloing all around these as well. We can change it to soft light, and we can apply a mask. If we put that in a little folder, call that Orton, so we know what we're doing, and then just maybe affect just the sky and the lighter patches, maybe a bit more. So there we are. So again, like I said, white is right, black is not right, and the highlighted areas here will be affected when I press the mask button. So I think we can drop that down slightly as well, again a bit more. Lovely. Like I said, I think this isn't quite straight, so if we move that down, even though Lightroom's pretty good, as you can see, on the right hand side we've got a little gap, so it's not completely straight. So in the crop tool, if you select the little level, spirit level, you can draw a line between the two dots. As you can see, it was 0.2, negative 0.2 degrees out. So if we do that, it rotates it around. I think there's too much negative space on the right as well, so we're going to crop that in a little bit and move it down, because I want it to be 2/3 sea, 1/3 sky. Perfect. Very nice. Very happy with that shot. Should we put a vignette on it? Let's have a look. Yeah, it's quite nice and makes the sun pop a little bit more. But I'm going to leave it up. I'm going to leave it off. So we press Control S to save that. Jump back into Lightroom. And there we have it. If we jump to the before and after, we can see that the original raw file was really quite flat and boring. The sunset wasn't being brought out at all. And all the edits after, very quickly, you know, and it hasn't taken a great deal of time, but we can recapture that sunset, bring out the detail in the groins, and even have some of this beautiful warm glow and the blue tones in the water as well kept. Really, really like that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this too, and thank you very much for joining me. Please do like, comment, subscribe, and I look forward to doing the next video and hearing from you then. Thank you.